Hari Om, Namaskar. The emotional connect topic doesn't seem to be ending. I find one comment, views from once again Ananda Tirtha Kulkarni, whom affectionately I call as Ananda. Namaskaram Gurudeva, my parents love me most. They want me to be with them all the time. If I go somewhere for work, my father couldn't sleep at night times due to my absence, he says. I said to them many times, don't be attached to me. If anything happens to me, you will be hurt a lot mentally. Then my life becomes meaningless, but they say, how can we stop getting attached to you? I don't want to hurt them by saying nothing is permanent, everything will be gone, etc. Presently, I am working from home, spending time with them. But I have a fear, what if I go Bangalore or Chennai or Hyderabad? I am not that experienced to say parents should stop being attached and they must know the difference between love and attachment. But sometimes I feel it. Ultimately, Lord is the doer. We should accept every situation. But there are many weak hearts like me to face the situation. At the same time, children who lost their parents, facing atrocities by the people in society. How could they get emotional connect with others? Whom should they trust? I got only one answer. That is the Lord, which is practically may be or may not be possible to everyone. Love you, Gurudeva. It's a nice point of view. We will see a little bit of this. See, emotional connect, yes, it is very much needed. But anything in excess is dangerous. Everything should be in moderation. If you ask me how much, it may differ from case to case. It differs from individual to individual. It will be certainly different. So there is no standard formula. Okay. Parents loving the kid, it is normal. Having an emotional connect with the kid, yes, it is normal. But emotional connect should not be to that extent where it spoils the growth of the child. Okay. Another here says his father cannot sleep even if he goes on some office work. Okay, you are thinking about I'll be transferred here, I'll be transferred there. I think about your marriage. After marriage, suppose you are getting married tomorrow. Then what happens? Will you be sitting at home? It's work from home, okay. Would you not like to go out sometime with your wife? Will this attachment come as a hindrance in your life at some point of time? Or will it not come? How will you manage? Okay. Emotional connect definitely is needed. But it should not be a hindrance for the growth of youngsters. Youngsters have to be given their own space, their own time for them to think and grow. You can't keep caging the youngsters. Sometimes the parents say certain things during the younger days, probably fearing. It's a fear. They fear. To the male, they may say, no, please be careful with females. You should not touch females. To the female, they will say, no, you must be careful about the males, about the boys. You must be very careful about them. You should not go near them. In our society, these things are common. In US, it is not. In Western countries, it is not. In fact, their parents will have asked Don't you have a male friend or a female friend to their own kids when they are 9, 10 years? That's the difference. Because here we are more closed. The parents have a superiority in thinking that they can alone guide the children. They never acknowledge the fact that the child has to grow on its own. Here where comes the parents keep their own dreams, their own experiences, and think that the child will also have the same dreams or same experiences and keep advising the child accordingly. It affects the child in the long run. Of course, child will be very obedient. For how long? For how long he or she is going to be obedient? When he sees the society, where the society is something else, whereas what was taught to him is something else, and he doesn't fix with the society, he is not able to mingle with the society, then he will feel frustrated. You cannot blame him. That day, he feels he has become vulnerable. He is not able to exist on par with the society. So that leads to a lot of frustration against the brought up by the parents. So never overact. You are not supposed to overact in the name of emotional connect. Emotional connect should be optimum. And that should be there. And everything under the sun should be discussed. There is nothing wrong in discussing anything and everything today. Instead of a friend or a peer discussing about certain things which the parents are reluctant to discuss and getting a wrong information, the parents can very well talk very sensitive subjects with the children. But they must have that nuance to discuss a subject. They should know how to discuss a subject. They cannot be taught. That they should have it from the experience what they had in their life. I cannot teach you how to talk with your child. I cannot teach parents how to move with the child, how much to be emotionally have contact. I can only say have an emotional connect, have an emotional contact, but let it not spoil the individuality of the child. And don't encroach the space of the child. The child needs its own space, its own time, its own thinking. It has to process a lot of information. For that, what data you give must not be a corrupted data. If the data what you give is going to be corrupted, then the information what they are going to draw will be corrupted. Obedience is very good. I don't deny. I don't say kids should not be obedient. And I don't say kids should be disobedient. But to be obedient is simply just to follow certain written instructions. That's all. Nothing more. But your instructions must be in tune with the changing society. If your instructions are going to be outdated and it is going to be in tune with what you have experienced in your life, and thinking that the society is static and not dynamic, your instructions to the child by inculcating obedience in him will be counterproductive. It will bring frustration to the child. Try to understand this. Even you might not have understood when you were young, but at least now understand. And now bring changes. Now try to bring changes. Try to respect your child as it grows. He or she is becoming an adult. They are going to get to know many things. Okay. Let it be in tune with what you advised. Because they have to live in the society. And when they cannot live in the society, definitely they will feel very bad. They will feel very frustrated about their own brought up. For that, a parent must be more mature. To understand today what I am saying also, you must be more mature. Immature parents cannot understand what I am saying today. People who do not have that much of maturity or that much of alertness, and people who have simply documented and lived a life the way their parents told them, I don't think they can understand this. I don't say you should not listen to your parents and pass it on to your children. But please remember, society is dynamic. Your advice should be dynamic and not static. Your advice is based on something happened in 1900s. It will be outdated. Your advice cannot be implemented in the present day situation. So, having too much of attachment on the child is also dangerous. It will restrict his movements, and someday the child will get frustrated. It may look very nice for some time. It's in fact curbing with the freedom of the child. Ultimately, life is freedom. You all say liberation. You all want to merge with Swayam Narayan. What is it? What is liberation? Is it freedom? When you have the desire, you must first be free. I don't say you must be free without responsibility. Yes, there are a set of responsibilities through which you must attain that freedom. So freedom with responsibility is very important. So that liberation is not possible when there is a bondage. So emotional connect should not lead to emotional bondage. Emotional connect should allow your children to live free, to discuss free with you, not with inhibitions, not with reservation. When he comes to you, he must think that the best friend is my parents, to whom I can discuss anything and everything under the sun. I don't have any inhibition with them. They will be the best advisors under any circumstances. That is the kind of opinion a kid is supposed to form as he grows or as she grows. Keep all these things in mind. Because of your insecurities, don't spoil their future. The reason is your own insecurities. They will get gagged. Naturally, when they get gagged, they will become frustrated, they will become rebellious. They may even sever their relationship with you. So, emotional connect should be to that extent where it does not in any way interfere with the growth of the child. The growth is very important. Long back, our Ananya had commented to one of my postings. Some of our husbands are so much connected to their mothers, it looks like even the umbilical cord is not still cut. That comment, I really liked it. Ananya had given a few years back. Very good. It is a very excellent comment. See, the umbilical cord should have been cut long back. Of course. Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava. There, Devo Bhava means to that extent father and mother, being the representatives of those fathers, are supposed to carry that kind of a maturity. That is why they didn't say Mata Devo Bhava, Pita Devo Bhava. The parents are looked upon that they have that kind of a maturity, that kind of oneness in mind, where they think about the growth of the child, incommensurate with what is happening in the society. Of course, many things, negative things are also happening in the society. The parents can guide, they can say about all those things, so that the child will be guided. He will know it. But at the same time, the child may have to experience certain things, not like chaining the child. You can't chain the child in the name of emotion. Father saying, what will I do? Yes, how I can. That shows the immaturity of the parent. So at some point of time, frustration will come. Frustration will come. That kind of an attachment will also scuttle the growth of the person. So the maturity is not there. As you grow, you must get more matured on account of experiences. And you should translate those experiences practically, and the way you advise must be in commensurate with the actions and reactions that are taking place in the society. As an elderly person, you know very well how to guide and guard your child, but it should not scuttle the growth. How are we going to achieve that? That's where awareness helps. One should be aware, one should be conscious to what extent they can travel in certain things, to what extent the advice can be given, where the child has to experience on its own, or where it has to be cautioned that there is something like this is there. Okay. 24 hours chaining the child will lead to its frustration. Certainly, at a later stage, the child may start throwing tantrums. You cannot help. So, every parent should remember the emotional connection should be at an optimum level. And if you are aware as a parent, you will know what is the optimum. Simply shouting at the child or simply hugging the child is not going to solve the problem. Please remember. You should have that optimum love. Love can always be there. There should be a moderation in that. Because tomorrow the child will have its own life. He can't be sitting always with you. He may be traveling elsewhere. He may get married tomorrow. The wife may be a very progressive wife. She may be more from an outward thinking family. She has to match with this. If she finds the parents always standing around her husband, what she will do? Naturally, there will be problems. More for the son or more for the daughter than for the parents. Okay. I have seen many parents doing it. And finally, they start blaming the girl coming into the family or the boy coming into the family. They start blaming. They say she is not okay, she is like this, she is very progressive, she doesn't respect us. The girl need not respect also if your son is happy with the girl. To that extent, the parent has to upgrade their wisdom. Okay. So keep all these things in mind and deal with things carefully. Emotional connect is a very delicate subject. Okay. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Bye. 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 Bye.